So I received this Killer Instinct, apologies if it's not in focus, scope in the post yesterday. This is, to be honest, this scope is actually probably too good for this crossbow. The scope was £120, but in receiving it, I really wanted to test it out on the EK Archery Jag 1. As many people may know, this is a favourite of mine. £103 for this crossbow and about a tenner for 5 bolts, plus the £120 scope, leads me to believe that this has the potential for being the best budget SHTF crossbow. What I wanted to do today was film some shooting at some varying distances, standing, seated, and just see what sort of accuracy and time you can expect from this crossbow with this scope. So what I thought we'd do is start the video in reverse, and I'll just walk you out. So we've got our 0 mark here. There we go, there's 1 metre. So I'm just going to walk you all the way out to 55. I think it's 54.8 metres is 60 yards. Yeah, 54.8 metres is 60 yards. My surveyor's tape only goes to 50 metres, so I've had to use a tape measure to get the extra 4.8 metres. Now, if that doesn't sound far enough, it's also 180 feet. So there's 50 metres. And we come to 54.8 to the target. I really hope I don't hit that GoPro. So 55 yards, 180 feet. Sorry, 60 yards, 180 feet. So at 60 yards, cocking the crossbow evenly is quite important. Making sure you're pointing the crossbow down is quite important. Now, the thing that's happening here is that the target is so far away, I actually don't have the target in the scope anymore. The top of the bag is just out of the scope. Right, let's go and take a look at that then. Just jogged down here. So there's my first shot at 60 yards. So when I was saying you can't see the target, the scope is almost like that, with the bottom of the bag just inside the scope. I'm actually aiming into the trees. Take some more shots. So the first shot was on target. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take 2 shots, 2 more shots, so we've got 3 bolts in the target. And we'll just take a look at the grouping at 60 yards. It's a lot of walking up and down. It's this far away. Annoying. I actually went too high then. Not very happy with that. Not very happy with that at all. I don't know if I aimed too high or pulled slightly high as I pulled the trigger. See the target, but I think that struck quite high. Not too happy with that grouping, if I'm honest. I'll go and take a look anyway. So the grouping would actually be honestly not an awful grouping, but I did take 3 shots all within the luminosy greeny yellow, so it's a bit of a shame that one was high. I'm going to take another 3 shots because I'm not happy with that. Right, 3 more shots. Three more shots at 60 yards. In case you missed me say it before, at this distance, the top of the bag is only just in the scope, and that's how I'm gauging it. So I can't really see the thing I'm shooting at. But I guess what that leans into is that this crossbow isn't suitable for hunting at 60 yards. But I just wanted to test this out for fun more than anything else. Can't even see where that hit. Let's go and take a look at that grouping. Okay, that's it at 60 yards. Very happy with that, not so happy with that. But that's what the Jag 1 can achieve, 175 pound recurve, about 140 pounds online with a Killer Instinct scope. That's what it's capable of. So I've moved the target back to 50 yards and I've been making some notes. I wasn't filming earlier. Okay, I haven't made any notes at 60, but the note would be that the target is at the bottom of the scope and you can barely see it at all. So now I'm back to 50, bottom of vertical line, halfway up. Okay. So there is a vertical line at the bottom of the sort of elevation guide in the scope. That needs to be halfway up that black box to be punching centre of the target, essentially. Now, of course, if that wasn't there, that foam square wasn't behind it, I wouldn't be able to gauge it as easily, but for the sake of this shooting demonstration, it is there. If anything, it's there to save me money, because these bolts break if they hit the ply. So bottom of the line, halfway up. dickhead. Try again. I actually preemptively pulled the trigger then. I thought I had the tiniest bit left on the pull. I think I've already mentioned, but cocking the crossbow evenly is just so important, so that energy is delivered from both limbs the same, so you're not pulling left and right. Right, one more shot at 50 yards. It's probably worth noting the safety is quite stiff to disengage on this thing, which is either a good thing or a bad thing. Right, let's go and have a look at that. Okay, so what I would say here with this grouping, which is a very small grouping, I suspect there's about 3 to 4 inches between those. Definitely needs to come down, definitely needs to go to the left. I think I'll leave it for now and we'll take some shots at, we're at 50 yards, aren't we? Take some shots at 40 yards and see if I'm still off, and then I might adjust it. Right, we've now come back to 40 yards, which is the furthest distance where I can actually use an elevation indicator in the scope to aim with, because 50 and 60 you're just guessing. So hopefully my grouping will be a little bit tighter now. So to zero this, you need to have, oh my goodness, that is stiff. It needs to be set to number 10. Just turn the lights on. I can see how it's gone to the right, so perhaps it does need to be adjusted left. We'll see how the grouping is. Interestingly, that actually looks like it hit kind of in the centre. Again, I can't really see from here. Right, third shot at 40 yards. Right, okay, just going to have a look. Now, as I said, at 50 yards, I think the grouping needed to go down and left, and I think that's the same again. I mean, that's the size of the palm of your hand, right? So, not terrible, I wouldn't say, at 40 yards, but we'll go back to 30 now and see. Right, so I'm back at 30 yards now, which I can see from my notebook. I'm now going to use elevation indicator number 6. Just feel a little bit of wind for the first time today. Right, number 6. I'm going to leave these this cocking portion in the video as well, just so people can get an idea of how long it sort of takes between each shot. I haven't got the seat in the right place yet either. Right, last one. The nice thing about this Jag one is that I can stand in the stirrup and the stock fits perfectly between my legs. I'm just tall enough to do that, so I can hold it in position quite nicely. Okay, that looks like quite a good grouping from here, so let's go and take a look. Okay, a grouping I can probably be proud of now. I would call that tight at 30 yards. Right, so the target is now at 20 yards, which is essentially the centre of the scope. 20 yards, number 2. Now I hope I get a tight group in, or that might be a bit embarrassing. I think that was, but it's only 20 yards, which is what, what's 20 yards in feet? 60 feet. There we go. Brilliant at 20 yards. What I'll do is I'll put a video on the screen now of a shot I made this morning when I was setting up, and I was making all my notes on elevation at different distances. So I haven't even started filming yet. I've just been playing around with the new scope. 20 yards. I think that's the first time I've got such a tight group and pinged one. So, I mean, look at this, right? I'll try and do this one-handed, hold on. Look at that, it's just shame about the bolt, but that's quite impressive. Now I've set the target back out to 30 yards, which I believe to be a good distance for judging a recurve crossbow. And I think what we'll do is we'll just see how quickly I can get off an accurate 3 shots. I think it's only fair that I start with it already loaded. And then we'll see how long it takes. 30 yards, 90 feet, 20.7 meters. Right. I'll start the timer on the first shot. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. I say that and I can't get the bolt on the rail. See if I can get this one a bit smoother. I'll stop the timer when the third bolt makes impact as well. Okay, I don't know how long that was, but didn't feel too slow, so we'll go and take a look at that. So this is my grouping at 30 yards, trying to shoot quickly, about the fist size. I think I'll try it standing. So I think I'll do the same again this time, but this time standing 30 yards. Same as before, first shot, 30 yards, 6. First shot starts the timer. Goodness, that was much harder. Third shot, I'll stop the timer when it impacts the bag. I'm interested to see how much slower that was. Grouping's definitely not as good. Now that's a sort of hand spread size grouping. Not ashamed of that. Much harder than I thought actually. When I was looking down the sight, the scope was literally moving. Like I'm trying not to move and it's moving that much. So it is quite tricky actually, as people who shoot will know. The target is still at 30 yards I've got a Coke can set up. I've probably only got one shot at this because if I miss, the Coke can may fall over. Now, I personally think hitting a Coke can at 30 yards is pushing the limit of the capability of this crossbow. I don't think it's pushing the limit of this scope. I think the scope is that consistently accurate, but I just don't think the crossbow is. I actually think I am, believe it or not. Trying to get a good grip on this. Not in the best position. Is this a better position? I can see that went just under as well. How annoying. I think I missed that by inches, if I'm honest. I had the sight in the centre. Oh, I need a bolt. I had it on the centre of the can, so I'm going to just raise it up a touch. It's getting warm out here as well. Wow. I'm going to have to go and find that bolt, but that was quite cool. Did that bounce off? Like, the second one bounced off. Now, the first one went just under there, so literally just under. And the second one's pumped into it. Oh, great. Sticky bolt. See if I can find the other one. It's a nightmare once the grass starts growing to try and find them. I'll have to look for it off camera, I think. I actually just want to show you how far that goes underground. So the target was here and it goes all the way through the grass. Where did I just see it? Ah, here we go. Look at that. It basically skims under all the grass. It's a nightmare to try and find them. Right, just gonna try this again because actually the crossbow, the scope and I are performing better than I thought. I'm quite confident I can hit the can again. And at 30 yards, I mean the can is tiny compared to whatever else it may be that you're looking to shoot. Now all my bolts are getting a bit messed up, all the vanes are getting a bit skew with, so they're not going to be flying absolutely perfectly, unfortunately. Well, I saw the Coke can move, so did I hit it? I felt like I pulled left slightly as I released. Let's do another shot. Not too straight. Now that is a nice shot. Perfect. First shot. Not entirely sure where the first one's gone. It must be around here because I'm sure it hit the can, or at least hit the crate again. I'm going to have to look for it off camera. So it's easy for me to make these shots when the crossbow is rested up. I know the yardage, so what I've done is I've just randomly placed the target. I've picked a random point in the field, and now let's see what my aim is like. So I have no idea what the yardage is. I suspect, if I'm honest, it's around 30 yards, which I know from my notes is the elevation indicator 6, but I'm not 100% sure. I just hope I don't hit my GoPro, if I'm honest. Okay, not bad actually. I might actually measure from here to there and see how accurate my guess was as well. I think that would be interesting. Yeah, definitely happy with that. At an unknown distance, I actually dragged the backing boards from all the way over there to here, because honestly I thought I'd miss entirely. So I thought I need to make sure those backing boards are there. If anything, I thought I'd hit low just to be on the safe side, but happy with that. So we're at 24, just shy of, roughly 24.5 metres, which is just shy of 28 yards, which would explain, I thought it was about 30 yards. So that would explain why it's a touch high as well, because I would be aiming a touch higher. But I'm quite happy with that guess, actually. Now in summary, I'll do my best to keep this short and sweet. I think, based on today's results, that this combo of the Jag 1 and the Killer Instinct scope, which combined is about 220 pounds, I think this is a real contender. This setup is a real contender for the best budget SHTF crossbow you can get in the UK. Now, the reason I say budget is because you could spend £2,000 and get a better SHTF crossbow, but the thing is, real people don't have that sort of money, whereas this is very affordable for everyone. So, as I mentioned, based on what we saw today, I think this is a great setup. Really enjoyed shooting it at 60 yards, really enjoyed shooting it at 50, 40, 30, 20, really enjoyed taking those shots at the can. Now, I'm not the best shooter. I have a fair amount of experience. I've been shooting on and off since I was a teenager probably. But I think with a little bit of practice, you can really do quite well with this setup. Really enjoyed using the scope. I think the scope is great. It's got loads of great features. I may do an in-depth video on the scope if it's required, if people want it. But for the meantime, here it is.